Good morning, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Today we have a very nice game to show about Endgame Magic actually, with Mr. Capablanca in the black pieces. They show you how to play very simple chess and very efficient. No tactics, no complications, just the best move in the position all the time, and it yields actually to a winning position. This guy was able to become the world champion with this method of chess. So I want to show this kind of chess on my channel, and I believe I'm going to do this maybe once a week because we need to learn how to be good in games. So Mr. Capablanca with the black pieces is playing against James Frank Marshall, a very strong American player at that time in 1911. So Marshall played d4, Capablanca played d5. Now Capablanca is very well known. He doesn't really worry too much about openings. Like he play very simple openings. Doesn't really care about theory and preparation, all the kind of things. So c4, e6, Queen's Gambit declined on the board, no problems. Knight c3. Now there's sometimes, or most of the time actually, we see Knight f6 here, or sometimes even Bishop e7. Now Capablanca here played c5, and this version we called it Tarash variation. And with this move of the board, just to mention that I saw even Garry Kasparov play this kind of opening, so it's a good one. Now recently it went out of theory, like it's not out of fashion. So cd5, ed5, knight f3, knight c6, and now g3 by white. Bishop e6, bishop g2, bishop e7, castle, knight f6. Capablanca just placed his knight on the ideal squares. Bishops on the other squares. He's ready to castle next. Frank James Marshall played the best moves in the opening. This formation here with castling, and the knight putting a bishop on the d4, and the bishop also putting a bishop on the pawn on d5 after the knight on f3 moved. It's actually the best way to deal with this opening. So now we need to increase the bishop in black. How? With bishop g5. Now we can see that Frank James Marshall tried to take the knight on f6, then the pawn on c5, and keep the pawn on d5 isolated. Now Capablanca has the feeling on the position, and he played here knight e4. With this move on the board, Capablanca says clearly, I don't want to see any weaknesses on the board. So take, and you could play here rook c1 if you want to. This is a good move to play. But we are in 1911. This is more than 100 years ago. So Marshall played knight e5, putting a bishop on the knight with the knight and the bishop. Putting a bishop on the knight over here as well. Bishop maybe on the pawn on c5. A lot of things. Marshall is really a good tactics. Like he's really a good tactical player. Capablanca is not. So Capablanca doesn't want tactics. He wants to keep the game simple. So he played knight d4. Frank played knight e4, d4. Of course, he could just take here if he wants to, but he gonna deal with bishop h3 and the rook and the queen attacking his pieces. So he decided to play just e3 and asking Capablanca, we're gonna go with the knight. Capablanca again doesn't want complications. He is a pawn up, so he decided to give the pawn back to keep the position simple. And he played f3 check, take, and with the queen. Now this position is very simple. As you can see, the queen is attacking the pawn on b7. Two pawns against c3, and there's here 4 pawns against c3 here. And this is, if you believe it or not, what Capablanca looked for, and he this is the way he made it in this game to win. This is the kind of advantages, very simple advantages, leads him to win the game. And look at this, castle for black, rook fc1. So Frank James Marshall looking for tactics. He putting the rook on c1, attacking the pawn on c5. Doesn't use that rook yet because the bishop is attacking the pawn. So Capablanca played rook ab8, protecting the pawn on b7 with the rook, so the queen can go somewhere else. Queen e4, and there's a bend here on the a file with the queen, and the bishop h3 is coming. So queen c7 be played. by Capablanca. This position has been even extended by some masters. It's actually what Capablanca was looking for. Queen c7 make the position balanced, but not like equal, but not balanced, which means it's equal because we have 6 pawns for each side, the queen by queen, bishop by bishop, 2 rocks for each side, so the material is equal. There is no threats on anybody. There is no double pawns for anybody. The only imbalanced thing on the position is 3 pawns for 2 and 4 for 3. Now the 3 for 2 is easier to handle. It's easier to make a passed pawn than 4 against 3. Okay, rook c3 by Frank Marshall. Marshall, I think he should play here a4. I believe so. And if Capablanca play b5, he should just maybe take. With this position on the board, there is more tactics. There is an a file opened, plus the c file, and those 2 pawns here are separated. So maybe he could do something. Maybe, I'm not sure about it. But what's happened is he played rook c3, looking for tactics. Capablanca played b5, and this is the game that showed the whole world how to handle the minority attack. And now actually we have now a majority attack, not even a minority attack. a3, c4, and look at the position here. The pawn on c4 blocking the bishop, and it looks at first sight white is fine. His pawn on a3, not on a2, so the bishop cannot actually attack it. He's stopping b4, fine, no problem, and the bishop actually is being blocked a little bit by the pawn on c4, which how that looks like, but in reality, no. This is what Capablanca taught everybody. So bishop f3 by Frank Marshall. I am not sure what Marshall wants to do. Like, I mean, why the rook is still on a1? Like, it should go maybe here, maybe. So maybe rook d1 is a good move here. I don't know, but we need to ask him what the answer he just did. Rook fd8, rook d1. Now look, now he's putting the rook on d1 to exchange pieces. Take, and now rook d8, bishop f3, g6. Capablanca just make a room for his king, so there is no back ranks mate whatsoever. Queen c6. Frank asked Capablanca if he wanted to exchange the queens and go to the endgame. Now if Capablanca took here, the bishop, now the pawn is on b5 is under attack. So Capablanca doesn't want that. So he played the queen e5, move the queen, protect the pawn on b5. Now Frank played the queen e4, asking Capablanca for exchange of the queens. Now Capablanca accept that. There is no bishop on c6 to attack his pawn on b5. Check, king g2, and here a5 again. The pawn is protected by the bishop, so let's go for b4. Why not? Of course, look at the bishop on here on e4. If the bishop on f3, he maybe go to e2 to put the bishop on the c4, maybe, but didn't happen. Rook c2, b4 take and take. Now it's a 2 pawns against 1. Now the passed pawn is coming, and here's another problem. Frank didn't know what to do here. Maybe if it's one of the modern players, he maybe just go for maybe h4, h5, try to create something, maybe. But he just played passive. Bishop f3, rook b1, bishop e2. That's the problem when you play only tactics. When you come to the end game, you get stuck. b3, rook d2, rook c1, protecting the pawn on c4, bishop d1. It looks like Frank Marshall is holding the position together, but this is not the case, unfortunately. c3, take and b2, and here take and take now to get rid of the 2 passed pawn for black. Frank has to sacrifice his bishop. Now Frank has 2 pawns for the bishop. It still is an end game, not easy to win, but not for Capablanca, trust me. Rook c2, bishop f5, rook b2, rook c1, rook b3. Now the rook is tightening the rook, so the rook is always attacking the pawn on the c file. This pawn cannot go to anywhere. Now next, bishop b4 check, asking the king to go up. The king went up to h3. Now rook c2, attacking the pawn on f2. Look at Capablanca. No breath, no chances. The best move all the time on the board, especially when it's in an indie game. He doesn't give any space, any chance to anybody. f4, h5, and now Frank realized that he has a problem. If he play any move, let's say rook a3 for example, just to explain something here, he will play Kamak will play bishop f5 check, and when you go king h4, he will go f6, and there's a mate next. If you try to avoid with h3, he will go here, and we come after you again. All right. Now what we're gonna do? If Frank James Marshall is in a trouble, so he played g4, take. Now Capablanca now is a pawn for a piece, so rook b4, no problem. Check, king g3, rook e2, attacking the pawn on e3, rook c4, take. Now it's a piece up, full piece up, king h4, king g7, check, king f6, rook d7, bishop g2, check, king g7, c4, and here actually it's a resign for Frank James Marshall. Now if he wants to play on, he has a problem. If you go, let's say, for c4, king h6, and there's a mate next on h3, there's no solution for it. Very nice game by Capablanca, the best of the best in the end game. We have some argument about that. Some people say Carlsen is the best of the best in end game, but Capablanca has that feeling in those simple positions. Okay, guys, hope you guys like the game. Like and share, subscribe to the channel, and you guys enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you. Bye bye.